everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing Hasbro Pulsecon, the next Rider movie, and the best debut of the year. But before all that, Buster, how you been?
I have been stressed, not gonna lie. It's just been like, oh, I gotta do this project, then I gotta do this work, That's college.
Damn, sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Just like, I don't want to go into too much specifics, just because that stresses me out further, and also I don't want to dox myself, but it's been a lot.
I like how you seem no more manic than usual, though.
Yeah. I'm very manic. I'm a very manic person.
We need to come up with a moniker for you that fits that. You're the manic mini of modular media.
Yeah, Manic Mini. That's just gonna be my next YouTube rebranding. Manic Mini.
I want 10 cents for every time you say it.
Okay. I'll pay you it at whenever Modular goes to a convention.
Yes, that will totally happen today.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, hey, I'm doing, I've had a pretty chill weekend of shit posting, and the school I work at is actually on fall break this week, so there's been hardly anything to do at school to do at work, which is a school. Goddamn. Already flubbing up my words. But there's been hardly anything to do at work the last couple days, and, that's not bad. It's nice every once in a while to be the only person in the building for like 4 hours straight. You get to have fun thoughts enter your head, like, hey, I could strip naked and pretend karate fight in the hallways right now if I wanted to.
Did you?
I didn't, but that's a thought I had.
It's
just like, oh, hey, I could do that right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to, because I'm not a psycho. But, I think everybody has thoughts like that sometimes.
Mood. But, you can subscribe to us and stuff.
Yes, hey, if you want me to strip naked and karate fight in the hallways of a school, well, that's not going to happen. But you can help us reach more people. Potentially, probably, maybe people are listening to this while they're doing school work, and to help more people be able to do that, don't forget to give us a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're listening on a podcasting platform, please give us a follow. All those things help us out in the almighty algorithms. And if you want to stay up to date with the show and everything we're doing, please follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media and join our subreddit r/Modular Media. But that's all the plugging and tugging. So, shall we get on to the news?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, so first up this week, hey everybody, you know how Chance Perez said literally a year ago that Dino Fury was going to be moving to Netflix for season 2?
No.
Well, he did. That's how it leaked. He said it in an interview by mistake.
That was a joke. I didn't know.
Okay.
Whatever. Just go.
Alright, well,
continue.
It's officially confirmed, okay? Fucking Hasbro and Netflix put out a statement.
Yeah. Netflix put out a tweet saying, we're welcoming, Power Rangers to the Netflix family, or something like that.
After you just kicked most of it out.
Yeah. Now it's gonna have to go on YouTube. I mean, they're making good strides, but still.
Yeah. And before anyone asks for clarification, yes, the Nickelodeon contract is completely over. There will be no more Power Rangers reruns on those networks either, which kind of leads into everything we've been theorizing about with the production changing and whatnot, and all the YouTube uploads there have been recently of old episodes.
Yep.
So, I'm not staunchly for or against the show becoming a Netflix exclusive. My opinion is, as long as the show is good and it's reaching as many people as want to see it, then great. And it seems like this will be a net positive way towards that goal.
Yeah. More promotion, maybe slightly more than and also just accessibility. That's a big part. Nickelodeon, especially at the time slots they put it in, it doesn't make Power Rangers that accessible. So if I want to recommend a new show to people, I'll be like, oh, you have to basically pirate it if you want to watch it at a reasonable time.
Mhm.
But luckily now I can say now you can watch it on streaming, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the only way it could be more available is if they just started uploading it direct to YouTube.
Yeah, which I mean, like we're already getting what's it called?
We're getting the
old
class.
seasons.
We're getting some classic episodes, and the official channel that has been uploading those classic episodes. They're also just like randomly putting up earlier episodes of Dino Fury as well.
No,
Like McScary Manor was up a few weeks ago.
No, those were just stupid compilations.
No, that was a
Like-
full episode. There's like
Really?
temporary uploads of full episodes, Subaraya style. Except, not simulcasted.
I didn't see anything like that. Just because I'm so used to the compilation stuff
Mhm.
that they do.
I
where
know.
it's just, here's a bunch of clips from an episode or season.
I mean, the compilations, yes, those are happening every week, but it's like every couple weeks I'll notice one go up and then it's gone a week later.
I see.
So, I don't know what that all is about. Of course, this article says nothing about that, but obviously, we're gonna be getting the rest of Dino Fury Season 2 through Netflix next year, and that leads us directly into the Hasbro Pulsecon 2021 Power Rangers panels. And I say panels plural because Power Rangers opened day one of this year's, or I think this fucking sale period's Pulsecon, because I think they do one every 6 months or so. We got 3 separate Power Rangers panels, and they opened with a Dino Fury panel. And we talked a lot about this on this week's episode of Modular Components, which will be out on Friday on the Modular Media YouTube channel. Again, go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to get that when it comes out. But just to give real quick thoughts on the panel, it was all right, but it really came off like a Zoom call between a bunch of people who had not been in a Zoom call before, or at least not a whole bunch.
Yeah, like they're not used to online communication.
Every question was preceded by 30 seconds of who's going first? What?
Yeah. Even though some of the questions were directed at specific people, but anyway. I do like how Simon Bennett was there. That was an unexpected surprise and a welcome one because he's kind of the head creative when you get down to it of the show. So
yeah, and this was my first time watching a video interview with him, or at least my first time in a long while because I can't remember the last time I saw one. It might have been like before Dino Fury even premiered, but he has a very charismatic presence about him that, yeah, even though he's got that bit of non-tech savviness, when he does start talking, he seems to be very good at selling the show and pitching things without dropping massive spoilers on accident.
Yeah, he's what this franchise needs.
Like there was one point where he was talking about having some custom props on his shelf and teasing that, like, oh, you'll get to see these in future season 2 episodes, and like 2 of those were like Titan Hero style figures of Zedd and the Green Morphin Master, and I'm like, are they freaking pulling an In Space Psycho's chess set scene thing? Okay.
Maybe I could just be like, "Hey, here's a gift."
That and there was also like a prop of one of a miniature version of one of the Ryusoldier Zords, which they said is going to be mostly CGI, but they had an actual prop for a few shots.
I'm not even sure if it was even Ryusoldier, but I could be wrong because I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, it might be an original toy for all I know, because I haven't seen any Ryusoldier, but they did also talk a lot about Zedd being back and like how much care they tried to put into him being back in the show and not make it like they said, like they very specifically tried to make it fit within continuity and not disrupt things like the Zedd wave from In Space or Frax, even though Frax himself is a massive fucking disturbance of continuity, but that's a rant for another day.
Like, a side tangent, I feel like Power Rangers can have these holes of continuity. I don't mind that. Like, just, like, I feel like now they're them trying to connect everything to everything. I feel like, some franchises, they can just have entries that just somewhat make no sense, like your Geos and, and stuff.
I mean, Power Rangers did have its massive holes in continuity for the longest time. It's only recently with stuff like the MCU that Power Rangers and other franchises like it have gotten very big into trying to make everything seem connected and whatnot, which I know turns you into a grown machine.
You're right.
But I mean, like it's just a symptom of the times, and it's something that if you're ambivalent towards it like I am, it's whatever. There's things I get hype over, there's things I roll my eyes at, and if it's something you don't like specifically, you just gotta suffer for a little bit, bud. You know,
I will. I mean, again, the Zedd stuff is really good so far. Asterisks.
Yeah. And they also showed an actual clip from a season 2 episode, which basically spoiled the crap out of that episode in like talking about various plot details and whatnot that were being resolved in that scene. But it also showcased a whole lot the new Dino Fury cycle that will be being featured in season 2, which as a cycle looks fine, not especially great or especially bad.
It's like that Zeto's in hell in that clip.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the CGI. I wish they had some practical shots of him driving it, but like,
oh no, I like the CGI. I just find it funny that it's like, oh, he's in hell.
The CGI looks fine. I just wish there were a couple shots of the actual person driving it through that warehouse set. But as Boingo pointed out, it's probably an insurance thing.
And also, pandemic.
I'm trying to think if they talked about anything else. Oh yes, they did mention that season 2 is coming to Netflix in spring of 2022, and
also some slight plot details. Do we want to mention those? Like they say, Saga of Void Knight continues. More details on Rafcon and what became of those people. Relationships between characters grow, sometimes in very special ways. Crack theory of what that could mean. Ollie and Javi hook up. That's my crack ship, and I'm sticking to it. New power-ups and new Zords.
Is that your Wattpad fanfic?
No.
Did I just find out about your secret Wattpad account?
It's not a secret. I do have one. I just don't.
I was completely joking there. That's great.
Yeah, I don't do much on it. I need to use it more, but video essays and stuff.
I'm gonna go read your Owl House fan fiction after.
I don't even have one. I only do Toku fanfic.
Oh, I'm gonna go read your RPM fanfic after this.
I don't have an RPM fanfic. There's no way I can follow that up. So defensive today. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm purposefully teasing you. You're supposed to be. But the season is going to drop exclusively on Netflix in spring of 2022. And we're not sure yet whether that is the full season or just a partial dump. However, given how Power Rangers has been treated in the past, I would not be surprised if they dump half the season in the spring and the other half in the fall.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more plausible, like what they did with season 1 on Netflix,
Yeah. And then during the cast panel, there were a couple of reveals outside of the show itself. They first announced, actually the actress herself, Tessa Rowe, who is the person who portrays Izzy, said that Dino Fury Green is now available on the Power Rangers Legacy Wars mobile game, which I have not played, but as I understand it, it's Battle for the Grid for babies, right?
It's what Battle for the Grid originated from, and it's basically gacha.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I did play a little bit of Legacy Wars back when it first dropped.
Yeah, it's gotten slightly better, but basically this is where all the Battle for the Grid assets come from, and then they get polished up. I just hope she comes to Battle for the Grid.
I was about to say, with her being in this game, there's a slight likelihood that she could make it to Battle for the Grid eventually.
Yeah, I hope next season of DLC she's in there, because I do like that they put a lot of care into those animations and moves, so use them for a good game.
And then
something I completely predicted happened.
Yeah, God, that's the second time in a row because I did it on Components too. I can't remember the actor's name.
Russell Curry.
That's what I thought it was, but something was telling me, no, that's Ion's actor, you idiot. No, Russell Curry, the actor who portrays Zato, unveiled the Lightning Collection Dino Fury Red Ranger figure, and it looks okay. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks about as solid as I would have expected it to. Maybe there's a little too shiny of a shade of silver on the actual figure, but I can live with it, as well as the fact that the Morpher is unpainted once again. But hey, like, I own Gundam markers, so as much as I nitpick this and point it out, it's like I can fix it if it's gonna bother me when I actually get the toy, because I probably will be picking up Dino Fury Red, even though I'm pumping the brakes on a lot of my collecting. But Red Rangers in the Lightning Collection, I think, is something that I'll go completionist on in that sense. And the figure's also going to come with the Chroma Fury Saber, of course, alternate hands, and an unhelmeted civilian Zato head, which isn't the most amazing likeness in the world, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I just don't like the facial expression. It's just, it's just a bit too plain. I don't know.
Also, missed opportunity not to give him antennae, but that could still be a variant in the future.
Yeah, maybe like if they do a Max Real Red Lightning figure, which they totally should. Like, let's get some battleizers up in here.
Also, is it just me, or does the effects part he comes with look basic as fuck?
I think it's supposed to represent, like some people are pointing out, I think that's supposed to represent effects in the show.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But, sorry, anything else?
No, I'll probably stick to my basic Zato figure, but, nice for people who only collect Lightning Collection for some ungodly reason.
Whoa, hey, buddy.
Like, I collected too. I'm just
well, I was about to say, hey, fuck you, we're going to the Lightning Collection panel now.
Yeah.
So they unveiled Wave 11, which basically completely confirmed those leak listings we talked about a few weeks ago. Wave 11 is, of course, going to be Dino Fury Red, Dino Charge Pink, Wild Force Lunar Wolf, and Zeo Cog, which originally was just, the leaked listing was just Zeo Villain, and so a lot of people were speculating it's probably going to be a single release of the Cogs, and it is, but there's a slightly different paint deco, and also they come with Zeo Blue's Tonfas, which the Zeo Blue figure was missing.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's nice that they're putting it in, but then again, why did they forget it in the first place when they remembered everyone else's weapons? I don't know.
I mean, like, yes, it bothers me that they forgot it or they didn't put it in the first place, but, like, the fact that they're coming back around in a place where people who are collecting Zeo in general will get the figure anyway are now able to have them, that seems like a nice makeup to me.
Fair.
However, I'm probably not gonna get this, as yes, I do like Cogs. I have a Zeo Blue, but like I'm thinking of downsizing the collection overall, as I said. And Zeo Blue might be one of the figures on the chopping block, though I still haven't actually gotten to that stage of deciding things yet. It's just kind of like, I probably need to do a spring cleaning when the time comes.
So, speaking of accessories, Dino Charge Pink. The figure looks good. Well, why are they including personalized weapons now?
Because they also took out her Dino Fury Saber for no reason.
I mean, she doesn't really use it that much, but
the only one who uses it that much is frickin' Riley.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they should have included these stuff earlier, and it's just. It only feels like now they've gotten their bearings on what kind of accessories they can include in Lightning.
Also, it's a weapon that she only uses when she's activated Dino Steel mode, and there's no alternate arm parts to have her in Dino Steel mode. So
yeah, actually, that kind of reminds me of a complaint I made today, and how there's no boost arms for the basic line Dino Fury, but that's a whole other discussion.
I don't know. It's weird. I really hope it's not just some kind of weird pre-tooling so they can justify re-releasing her in Dino Steel later on, but knowing Hasbro, that's probably what it is. On the bright side, though, first female figure with double-jointed elbows in the Lightning Collection.
Yeah, for some reason that isn't a standard, but you already explained it. You explained it.
Yeah, Wild Force Lunar Wolf. I really dig the execution. However, I've never been a big Merrick fan, so I'm probably not going to get the
did we even
figure.
see Merrick's head sculpt? Let me check.
Yes, we did. It's
Okay, I don't remember it. That's all.
the thing on the hair seems a little bit off to me, but other than that, it's fine. Also, it's just the same problem as Dino Fury Red, where it's like Silver's maybe a little too shiny, but Merrick Silver was actually shiny, so I can forgive it.
I like it. I think this is a really cool figure, especially as someone who like grew up with parts of Wild Force, so maybe I'll pick it up. More inclined to pick up the Wild Force Blue.
However, somebody on r/Lightning Collection did point out wrong number of stripes in his sash. Yeah, so that's something hopefully they can correct before the figure actually releases.
I think its pre-orders are already out, and
pre-orders are already out, but that doesn't mean the figures have shipped from the factory yet. Like pretty much all of Wave 10, I believe it is, has shipped out, except for In Space Pink, and people have theorized that's because Hasbro acknowledged that they forgot to paint her shoulders and said they were going to be correcting it before the figure shipped. So maybe we can get the same thing here if the Lightning Collection fan base yells enough, which I'll leave it to them to do that. I'm not going to contribute to that. But on the bright side with this figure, there's some cool new unique accessories. The Lunar Q is there in both its mode, and he comes with alternate hands for when they do the team pose with their claws out. I wasn't expecting that, but it's a very cool detail that I hope they spread across the entire team.
Yeah, I was just about to say. And what else do we got? Should we talk? No, we already talked about the Walmart Megazord figures.
Yeah, they basically show them off again, and we actually get to see them in hand with the team here, and they were very excited about NinjaCon, so you know they were very aware of how deep of a pull that is, and
yeah.
Hasbro's always a company of designers who just love doing weird deep pulls when they can, which is like once or twice a year. They then showed the Lightning Collection Lord Zedd helmet that we had gotten leaked through listings, and it looks about as good as it possibly can.
Yeah, really like the voice amplifier is a neat touch, and it just looked great. It looks straight out of the show.
How you feeling about the squishy brain?
It's fine. I can take or leave it.
I was not expecting it, but I think it's a really cool touch. And then they showed that, as had been leaked/rumored, they are moving away from the Monsters line and instead to a general deluxe line, which is going to be waves of a monster and a ranger vehicle set. So the first wave of that, which is coming out in spring of next year, is going to be Parantis Head from the long rumored to be canceled Monsters Wave 2, and he looks really solid, but again, still way too tall, and also Parantis Head isn't a monster I care about at all, so definitely skipping him. And in Splace. That's going to be the title of the episode.
Interspace.
In Space Blue, now with the Galaxy Glider, which I agree with a lot of people. It's kind of crazy that they're repacking him so soon after the Versus pack, but like Galaxy Gliders are something a lot of collectors have been asking for a long time. So it kind of makes sense, and also, like, I could definitely see them slowly doing the entire in-space team again with Galaxy Gliders, except for, I'm trying to think, have they not released anyone yet? No, we've got, everyone is either out or on the way, because funny thing, they actually didn't talk about In-Space Silver at all during this panel, even though he's already showing up at some Walgreens.
Yeah. Probably because he wasn't planned for this. Maybe it's like a Fan First Friday thing.
Mm-hmm. But after that, they then went into the big reveal of the next big evolution of the Lightning Collection, which is the Zord Ascension Project, or ZAP, which is fully sculpted and painted, highly detailed, transforming and articulated expensive collector grade Megazord figures that are 1/144th scale. Basically, the thing everybody has been saying since day one they want from Hasbro. Oh, hey, you're the company that makes Transformers. You're the company that makes Transformers. It's late. I'm tired. Sorry. So, hey, you can make these cool, highly articulated transforming robots. Make us cool Megazord toys. And here it comes.
Yeah, of course they're starting with the Dino Megazord, but they said it's going to be an entire line of Megazords. So that's exciting for me.
And we already know through... yeah, I was going to say, we already know through leaked listings there's a Dragonzord coming next year as well. I think the figure looks really good for the most part. I have a few nitpicks, though, like... proportions-wise, I think the legs are a little too long. They just look like big pool noodles to me, but that might just be my eyes or the way it was posed here. And also, like, they made a big deal out of, hey, we used face printing technology to put the cockpit behind the faceplate of the head. And I'm like, that's cool. The cockpit's in the chest, though. You can clearly see that twice during the transformation sequence. So what are you doing?
Bit of a yikes. Although I kind of semi get it because that would infect the entire T-Rex Zord, but even so.
Yeah. Also, it's probably like a little bit of Pacific Rim influence getting into the team's head there.
Yeah.
And like it does look very impressive. Like just from the one pose they had it in, it looks as if not more articulated than the Super Robot Chogokin Dino Megazord. As it should, because they said they've been working on this one figure for the last 20 months since Hasbro.
I think they're working on the line. I think they're working on the entire line because I think they want to like they're trying to like figure out okay. How can we make consistent Megazords, you know?
Well, yeah, but if they've been working on the line in general, and this is the first figure in the line, that means they've been working on this figure that
well. Yeah. I thought you were just talking about the singular. Like, I'm trying to reassure our viewers that, like, other Megazords are coming.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And as I said, on components, I would not be surprised if the next Megazord we get is either the Zeo Megazord or the Astro Megazord, because those are the other two big ones people always ask for new toys of.
We just got like a Zeo figure of Megazord, but like
it was non-transforming, but it was highly articulated, so it was kind of a weird middle ground.
So I think like Astro Megazord's more likely.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of Dino Megazorded out, even though I don't currently own one. I had the Legacy one for a very long time, and eventually just sold it because I wasn't feeling very positive towards Mighty Morphin at the time. I'll put it that way. However, so like I'm kind of like lukewarm on this. I'm like, it looks good, but like I'm betting this is gonna be $150 price point, so I don't think I'll be getting it. But like an Astro Megazord in this style, ooh, that's gonna be hard to resist.
Yeah, probably just stick with the Walmart Megazords for a bit, just so I can have something to fiddle with on my desk, but it's also cheap and affordable.
Fair enough, and like you do tend to go for the smaller, simpler stuff, which I think has its place, and I do enjoy partaking in it every once in a while. And that was pretty much it for the Lightning Collection panel. We then got the Boom Studios panel, which was just an extended interview with Ryan Parrott hyping up the Eltarian War, and honestly, it was my favorite portion of the whole thing. Ryan Parrott seems like a very charming, entertaining man. I may not agree with everything he's doing in the comics right now, but like the way he talks about his creative process, it makes all of it make sense.
Yeah, it's like, this is what like he's going full on edge 13-year-old of what he wanted to see in Power Rangers. That was a specific quote from him, and I was like, you know what? I can respect that.
Fair enough. I would probably have done something similar at that age, but after that, it was supposed to be over.
Can I say this because I watched this live?
Yeah, I talked about it on components, so why don't you do it here?
All right, so I'll still let you talk afterwards. I'll just like introduce this concept. So then they got like, we got breaking news from the grid, and then it's got like big breaking news logo. Then you got these two sweaty white guys. The best way I can describe it, because I'm feeling not nice today. And they introduce a Power Rangers NFT Megazord that you
Which stands for not fucking tolerating that shit.
Yeah, because quick summary of NFTs for the 5% of you who don't know. They are a thing that are very, very bad for the environment, and they're not even like a physical product. Apparently, this is a physical product, but you're only getting like a digital file, and then you can like sign up for something that will make you like get it.
So, what an NFT in and of itself is, like the base concept of an NFT, you're purchasing a receipt for a JPEG.
Yeah.
It's basically the code of that specific JPEG, and it always exists. So it's like, no matter how many people right-click and save that JPEG to their computer, you technically own it. And because there's no way for it to go away, it requires servers somewhere to constantly be running, which is damaging to the environment, much more so than just saving a file to your computer. And that's why people aren't very big fans of them. Also, like, their whole existence is kind of caught up in the whole cryptocurrency bro culture, which I don't think it's any surprise to our listeners. Neither of us are a fan of that side of things.
Yeah.
And this one specifically is just fucking hilarious because it's photos of a black and gold variant of the Zap Dino Megazord, and they said nothing during the reveal of the Zap Dino Megazord of a black and gold variant, but yet here's all these photos, and you can buy NFTs of the photos, but the NFTs were only available for 2 days. And then, if you bought the NFTs within those 2 days, you would get a code going along with your JPEG receipt that you could put into a thing that would give you another code you could put into another thing. And that would give you a code that, when the Zap Megazord releases, you could redeem that final code for a physical product. And that is what they said, a physical product. Not specifically the Zap Dino Megazord, not specifically a black and gold variant of the Zap Dino Megazord that's exclusive to people who bought the NFT, just a physical product, which is such vague corporate language that even if I was okay with buying NFTs, I would not be okay with buying this, because I have no fucking idea what the physical product I'm going to get is.
Basically, it's a whole lot of why did you do this?
Mm-hmm. And they made a big deal out of it on the stream too. They were like, "Oh man, this is a first for Hasbro. This is a historical moment for Hasbro, and we're giving it to the Power Rangers brand. So it's a big moment for that brand." And it's like, yeah, it is, but not in the way you're acting like it is.
Yeah. Very yikes.
And I said on Twitter and on Components that I kind of get why this happened, because yes, to people like me and Buster, we know why NFTs are bad and why we morally disagree with their existence, but in the mainstream culture, NFTs are just seen as a new and exciting way to make money. So clearly Hasbro corporate just thought they were giving Power Rangers fans a big pat on the back here. So yes, it's tone deaf and horrible, but it came from a nice place, and hopefully all the fucking shouting everybody did on Twitter on Friday will ensure that this is both the first and last Hasbro NFT. At least that's my fingers crossed statement.
Just hope this. Unfortunately, I heard it sold 1,000 out of the 2,000, which is not a good sign.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not surprising, because to turn things into MMWP for a split second, WWE's been doing NFTs a lot over the last year and a half, and those have not been selling particularly well, even though they include a shit ton of physical products as part of the package. There were a bunch of ones they released for WrestleMania that were oh, buy this GIF of The Undertaker, and you can get a video message from The Undertaker, and a signed photo from The Undertaker, and tickets to WrestleMania, and this, that, and the other thing. And there was a couple hundred of them, and it sold 105.
So like that's just the trend with branded NFTs right now, is they're not selling anywhere near as much as the people who are making.
No, well, still that's like half the stock sold,
to.
and this was an experiment, so I'm still a bit worried that other Hasbro products are going to be affected.
Yeah, but Snake Eyes made its money back, and it's seen as a flop.
Wait, it did?
Yeah, just barely, but it made its money back. At least that's what I remember hearing.
I'll check later. Let's move on to Zenkaiger, because I'm depressed of these NFT stuff right now. So let's move on to
yeah. That's all the news out of Pulsecon. So let's talk about some Sentai news.
Yeah.
So we have the official solicitation of a couple of premium Bandai products for Zenkaiger. First of all, there is going to be a Minipla kit of the Black JuraGaon ZenkaiOh that I believe it was oh god, what's his name? The new boy? Oh yeah, Stacy summoned it. Stacy summoned it in a recent episode.
And it immediately got bodied.
Yeah, which is kind of hilarious that it's still getting a toy, but also it's an easy repaint, so it makes sense.
And it's a cool repaint.
Yeah, like black and like a few small accents of color is always an awesome paint scheme on robot toys. Just look at the fucking history of Nemesis Prime to see that. But like, I'm not particularly into Minipla, and the I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast, but like the Zenkaiger mecha design has not thrilled me thus far.
The basic stuff, but like the two Kaiser mecha,
Yeah, so like I have no interest in this, but for those of you who are, it's going to be 3,850 yen, and it will ship sometime in March of next year, and pre-orders should already be going on by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Also in P Bandai news, or at least adult collector merch news, because this doesn't specifically say P Bandai on it, there's going to be a DX Metal Append ZenkaiOh JuraGaon, which is basically the DX one, but remolded to be slightly more show accurate, and now feature die-cast parts.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks neat. It's not in it like. I'm one of those people that I'm like, yeah, the die-cast construction on retro toys is cool. I don't necessarily need it to make a huge comeback or be a part of my modern toys. So I look at this like, okay, for Sentai completionists, I'm sure this is probably a cool release, but I would never get this, especially because it's going to release for 16,500 yen, and it will be released in February of next year, which should be around the time Zenkaiger is wrapping up.
Yeah, if it's wrapping up, because we still don't have a Sentai trademark. What the hell?
Yeah, that's another big thing. Well, we're on Sentai real quick. The Sentai trademark was supposed to drop today, or at least it usually would drop today or Friday, I think was the day it's usually dropping. And so people were like, okay, we didn't get it on Friday, we'll get it today. No trademark. So we have no idea what the heck is going on with the next Sentai. But that being said, due to the nature of news and whatnot, the trademark could already be out there by the time you're listening to this. So if it is, comment down below and let us know what the new Sentai is called, if only to help us out.
And if you're making fake trademark bots, then you're scum.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those. Jesus. Yeah. But moving on to more wholesome news, Ryosuke Sakamoto, the actor who portrayed Red 1 in Bioman, announced this week that he has beaten cancer. So, good for him.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. Mm-hmm. Cancer sucks. It's good. It's great that, he beat it.
Yeah, there was a whole campaign last year, I remember, of Go Red 1, because people found out he had cancer, and it was well, we need to show him all this support on social media. So it's nice to see that something positive actually came out of Twitter for once.
Yeah.
Or more accurately, doctors did their jobs.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Rider news.
We got a big one.
Yeah, let's open with the big salvo. The Kamen Rider summer movie for 2022.
Winter movie.
The next Rider movie. Fuck off. It's Kamen Rider Beyond Generations, which is going to be According to the poster, a crossover between Saber, Revice, 1971, and a Mystery 2071 series.
Basically, the 50th anniversary crossover movie. Let's go.
Yeah, it's this is an interesting concept. I look forward to the inevitable memes of 2071's getting close. Fucking Toei, what are you gonna do? Like all the people
We're gonna be like
making
old man, like still doing this podcast. Where we feel like, finally, Kamen Rider Century. And then,
like the Kikai. What was it? There's some writer from Geo
Kamen
that
Rider
people
Kikai.
keep. Yeah, his show's supposed to be coming up soon, right?
No, that's Shinobi.
Oh yeah, Shinobi. People were memeing about him last year around the time the Revice trademark came out, I remember. So this guy's next. Much like before even both of them, I remember people memeing for years that like, it's getting closer and closer to 2024. There's gonna have to be aliens in the background to every Power Rangers show going forward, and they're totally gonna just rebroadcast SPD in 2024.
That would be funny. But yeah, I'm excited. I like Saber. I like Ice. I'm excited to see this 27 Rider and
you're breaking up over there, buddy. I'm only getting like squeaks and squawks. Buster, can you hear me? Okay, so I have no idea what I'm fucking doing because we've never had a situation like this before, but it's now the next day because Buster's equipment crapped out on them.
Yeah. Oops. The internet just went out and it's like, oops.
Mm-hmm. And at the time, we had no idea when your internet was going to come back up, right? So it was like, either we can just wait around all night, or just say we'll pick it up tomorrow.
And also, it had to sleep, so...
Yeah, and this episode is going to come out on a Wednesday now. Probably Wednesday night, because I actually have to go to work early tomorrow.
That's fine,
but...
some quote-unquote quality podcasting.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about Beyond Generations other than what we said yesterday? Because
Not
otherwise
really.
I feel like we should just move on. It looks like a neat concept. I'm looking forward to seeing Hongo once again.
Yeah. Probably at a voice line this time.
Mm-hmm. Though honestly, I feel like making that meme whenever the trailer drops. I want to make a meme that's just like seeing Tommy come back for the 98th time, seeing Hongo come back for the 98th time, and it's like the Kanye format or something.
Yeah.
Or the Drake format, I mean. I always say Kanye when I mean Drake. I don't know what's up with me.
They're both rappers.
Yes. They're both extremely mediocre rappers.
Okay. Well,
anyways,
let's move on before we get...
Yeah, moving on to SH Figuarts news. SH Figuarts RiseHopper and Effects Part set has been announced, which is really cool because it's been a good long time since 01. We just got our last piece of 01 content, and finally his bike is coming out.
Yeah, that's cool. And dope.
And I've
always get an effects piece.
Yeah, I've been a fan of 01's bike. It's not the best bike out there, but it's a really solid remolding of that basic dirt bike body that they've used a lot in Neo Heisei and now Reiwa. Like I think it's the same basic. It's probably a newer model, but it's the same basic type of bike that like Wizard's bike was.
Yeah. I'm more excited for the effects piece because I really like 01's finisher effects. So
yeah, that's a cool pack-in. That's a nice way to put some added value on the bike because I always hear people be like, people who are into Figuarts, even people who are really into Figuarts are like, yeah, buying the bikes is always kind of like, I don't know about this purchase because it's just a hunk of plastic.
Yeah.
But that'll be releasing from Premium Bandai. It's already up for pre-order and should be shipping sometime next year. I don't think April of next year. So anybody who is collecting Figuarts definitely want to get in on that, as well as yet another release of SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Decade Shinchouku Seihou. They're doing a Kamen Rider 50th anniversary release.
Yeah, and this will come with a violent decade head to use.
Mhm.
And some cards.
Oh, is that a new part? Is that a new part? I thought that had already come with a Senchoku Seihou before.
Maybe, but like the article specifies the Seichoku Seihou. So.
Okay, so it's probably a new part. And also a stand.
Yeah.
That's the two different things about this, because I think the box is the same as well, except for a 50th anniversary logo.
Yeah.
So if you've missed out on Decade and you really want Decade, it's probably your last chance to get them for a little while. I don't do Figuarts. I don't really have a need for a Decade figure at the moment. But what I do find interesting in terms of Rider toy news, Kamen Rider Revice DX Vice Stamp Selection 01 is the first set of Vice stamps based off of Showa Riders.
Yeah, and these stamps will be used by demons in the show. We see it in one of the newest episodes, so that's pretty cool. And the riders are V3, Amazon, and X.
Yeah, and V3 is the turtle V stamp, so I'm kind of tempted to get this just because turtles are my favorite animals. And they look really cool. They look really aesthetic, and I like the arm upgrade. I think it's the Amazon one gives him.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get more cool weapons like that.
I think it's V3. No, it could be either or. It could be either Amazon or V.
I'm looking at the actual graphic where they show the arm weapon being activated on the belt. It is V for God damn it, it's Amazon.
Yeah.
I literally just got home from work, people.
Yeah. Speaking of Amazon, like as a place where you can buy things.
Hey, fuck Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, no Bezos allowed except when we absolutely need it. I don't know. It's we're an abusive relationship of multi-million-dollar conglomerates. I hate it.
Welcome to life.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we talked about months and months ago that it had been announced that the original Kamen Rider manga was finally going to be getting an official Western release with an English translation and everything, and we now have the solicitations for it and pre-orders on various websites like Barnes & Noble and Amazon and all the other good places where you like to buy books. And we get to see the cover as well as the back sort of description, which is, fans the world over have long been enthralled by the tales of Kamen Rider. The masked motorcycle-riding superhero protects the world from injustice. Kidnapped and experimented upon by the evil terrorist organization known as Shocker, Hongo Tekashi manages to escape their clutches and use his newfound strength to fight against their schemes. Kamen Rider, the classic manga collection, is available for pre-order now for $32.99, which I think is a pretty good price for as many chapters as you're going to be getting with this.
You're getting like 800 pages of content, and it will come out on December 14th, it says.
Also, I really like how the Kamen Rider logo looks in English. Like, it looks way more aesthetic than I would have expected it to.
Yeah, it looks straight out of, like, if they translated it in the 70s, but, like, in a good way.
So I don't know if I'm definitely not pre-ordering this, because pre-orders in general are just something I'm kind of turned off to these days, but I'll definitely try and pick this up whenever I see it in person.
Yeah, that's my plan.
It looks really, really cool, and you know, it predates even the show, so this is the basis of the mythology. So it's kind of like required reading, I'd say, at some point.
Yeah, I think it was like simultaneously made with the show. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'd have to do some research on that.
I know like Skullman was before, but like Kamen Rider started as an adaptation of Skullman.
I don't know. Somebody school us in the comments.
Yeah.
And then get your tickets for Ultra Hero Expo 2022, which has just been announced for December 25th, 2021 through January 4th, 2022. It's going to be a big old event, live show thing featuring the Trigger cast and also some exclusive soft vinyls.
Yeah, like a glitter trigger and dark trigger, but they're translucent.
And they look neat. I'm not particularly into stage shows or soft vinyls, so I wouldn't go to this even if I had the opportunity of, which, hey, I won't because it's freaking in Japan. But
And COVID.
yeah, which is part of the reason I put this on here. Do you think it's like at all weird or sort of irresponsible on Tsuburaya's part that they've continued the live shows through COVID? Because there was a Zedd one too.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. Because like a lot of people, like we've been both in like the like American and Western and Eastern spaces, have still been trying to do stage. I feel like smaller scale stage shows are fine. These big events should not be. I feel like it's still a bit irresponsible, especially because apparently it's still worse in the East than the West.
It feels a little odd to me, especially because like I know you don't listen to it, but I listen to the Trash Taste podcast, and I keep up with those guys' solo content quite a bit, and they've talked about a whole lot.
Depending on like every episode of Modular Component.
Yeah, they've talked about quite a few times how like the population over there is like not getting vaccinated in huge droves, not because of like COVID misinformation, but just because of general ignorance or not seeing the vaccine as very necessary. So it's one of those things where I look at these live shows and I'm like, let me pull on my collar here and just walk away.
Okay, I think like the smaller scale mall ones are fine. It's just these big like convention ones that's a problem.
So, I don't know. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully we don't have an article in a few weeks of like a COVID case being connected directly to this.
Yeah.
But moving on to Ultraman merchandise news, there is going to be a Zedd Key box set of the trigger gimmick items. So
with Zedd theming.
Yeah, basically, Guts Hyper Keys is what they're called. And it's a premium box set of all the ones that Zedd had in the episodes where he showed up, because they did the thing of like, oh, you're last year's Ultraman. You can't be using your transformation device. We're not selling that anymore. We're going to make you new items based off of our shit.
Yeah, I like when they do it in Zedd, and I'm probably like it when they'll do it when I see that Trigger episode.
Yeah, it was fine. I just always find that hilarious because I don't think any other Toku franchise does it.
I just think it's cool. Like, you know, you sell more toys for like the more like collector heavy, and it's a neat visual. So, like, it also like in terms of Jeed, it shows how far like he's grown with like the mottos and stuff. But yeah, like I could go on for Jeed, but we gotta move on.
Yeah, they're cool. They're available through Premium Bandai and all that, so get them if you want to. And unfortunately, we have to end the news off on kind of a sad note this week because one of the lead excuse me.
You okay?
Is my mic working now?
Yeah, your mic's working.
Shit, I don't know what happened there. Where did I leave off? Because
you were about to introduce.
Oh, okay. Wow, I was talking for a few minutes. I don't know if that's going to be on the recording or not. That'll be interesting. Okay, so for Buster's benefit, I'll just take it from the top. One of the lead creative forces behind Ultraman and Ultra Q, Toshihiro Ijime, is how I'm going to say you pronounce that name.
Toshihiro Ijima.
Ijima, right. He passed away over this last weekend at the age of 89, and he was one of the people who was basically completely responsible, besides Tsuburaya, obviously, responsible for the creation of the Ultra franchise, because he was a director, producer, and a writer on both the original Ultra Q and Ultraman shows.
And even Ultraman Cosmos, the first contact.
Yeah. So it's very sad. It's definitely one of those moments of just like, wow, this franchise has been going on for so long and it's still around, but the original creators are slowly going away. You know, I'm not fully versed in behind the scenes knowledge for the Ultra series, but I can't imagine there's too many other guys and gals around who worked on that first show.
Yeah. Like, it's mostly like the passion and the these people, they set the groundwork, and now the new generation's like taking that passion, creativity, and putting their own spin on it.
Yeah.
You know?
And apparently the cause of death was a form of pneumonia. So probably wasn't the most comfortable death of all time, but also not the worst. And luckily, it's not another death we can chalk up to COVID. So that's a small little bit of positivity out of there. You know, you got to find that silver lining. And of course, we here at TWIT wish nothing but the best for his loved ones in this time, because it always sucks to lose someone, no matter how old or young they are. But that's all the news that's fit to print this week. So Buster, why don't you take us on to the new releases?
All right, Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 14, The Golden Threat. So, how did the Ultra Galaxy Fight promo go?
Oh, it was fucking awesome.
Nice.
This is like, remember how I said, like, oh no, they might have fallen off their stride last week? Nah, that was a fucking hiccup. This episode was badass, because the entire thing is just, it feels like one of the best it feels like the beginning of like a really good comic book storyline, because you've got Kengo dealing with the new status quo of Yuna knowing he's Ultraman, and him trying to get control of the final form because he can use it, but it takes a lot out of him, and he's very much trying to be like Kengo. At this point in the show reminds me a lot of oh god, I forgot his name. Yusuke from Kuga. Like he's very much trying to take the weight of the world on his shoulders and make sure nobody else has to worry about anything. And it's getting him in trouble because the Absolutians show up, and they literally say to the Giants of Darkness at the start of the episode, they're like, yo, we're here to kick the shit out of your Ultraman and take his power source. Stay the fuck out of our way. And the Giants of Darkness are like, fuck you, we're gonna fight you. And then they get their asses handed to them to show how badass the Absolutians are.
Nice.
And the Absolutians prove to be a huge fucking problem for Trigger. He cannot hold his own against them. And then Reboot shows up and just has one of the most badass additional hero debuts I've seen in a Toku show in a long time. Like, I literally came out of this episode going, I kind of need an Ultraman Reboot figure now. Like, yeah. I liked him in Ultra Galaxy Fight, but this was just awesome, and it seems like he's going to have a really cool role going forward, being kind of like both like a secondary rider type for Kengo, but also like a mentor type for him. Which
I think it's like only for another couple episodes, like Jeed, but like, you know, if he stays for the rest of the show, I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah. But it's just a really cool episode, and like some of the best action in the show so far. Like, you could really tell Sakamoto was hands-on with this one.
Yeah.
And they're teasing that big dumb dragon transformation for the ship that we've seen in toy commercials a whole bunch. It looks like they're actually going to be doing that in the show pretty soon, which I'm low key excited about. I don't know if it's going to be the best thing in the world, but it might be kind of cool.
Yeah. What else? Should I just introduce the next episode?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right. Kamen Rider Revice, Episode 8. Heaven and Hell Befall a Family Break. I freaking love this episode.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, miny, mo.
Yeah,
just fucking Kamen Rider, man. The only show where the phrase eeny, meeny, miny, mo is both badass and hilarious.
Yeah, just like I actually saw like a lot of tweets about the eeny, meeny, miny, mo go a bit like over 1K likes on Twitter. It's pretty nuts how that's kind of getting some traction. It even still, I feel like that was a great debut. It's just, man, and also especially like the context of it, not the jingle, but like the context of how Danji or Kagero henshins. was like super cool because it's like he's just like I'm not gonna henshin until the perfect moment where they're at their peak happiness, so it hits even harder. And I'm like,
that's some fucking wizard trying to drive the gate to despair shit right there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially someone who just recently finished Wizard for the first time, I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. And I also just love the scenes leading up to that, where like he's very good at playing Daiji, and then we get the scene in the bathroom with Daiji trapped behind the mirrors. That was a really cool directorial choice, I thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of great directorial stuff in this episode, like with the lighting, costume design, angles.
The frickin' Austin Powers-esque hiding of dude's junk.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of homoerotic thematics in here.
I mean, when you think about it, honestly, with the whole, like, lonely housewife demographic that Kamen Rider has in Japan, it's honestly shocking that they haven't made the home base of a show a bathhouse sooner.
Yeah, that.
Because, like, oh my god, just so many scenes in this show so far, and, like, it's gotten so played out in the show. We're 8 episodes in, and it's already so played out that they were like, yo, instead of showing the dudes naked in a bathhouse this week, we're changing it up. We're going to an onsen.
Yeah.
Freaking George just being like the creepiest but also most hilarious character in the show still.
Yeah. I'm very excited to learn what's up with him, probably towards the end of this year's episodes.
I think episode 13 is going to be a combination of finding out some kind of hidden agenda of George's and possibly demons biting the dust.
Yeah, that's gonna be a harsh one.
Especially because Demons gets some good scenes in here where he's being like Mr. Investigative guy trying to confirm that Daiji, or who they think is Daiji, is Kamen Rider evil! And as soon as he gets it confirmed, he immediately confronts him and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Oh man, and it just proves how really the suits in the show are so good. Even though like the Forze form, like Forze Gorilla, kind of got like
it got the shaft.
Yeah, it got the shaft. It instantly gets power curbed, but like it was still like a cool looking form. But still, like this series has a really good aesthetic. And honestly, I kind of forget it's an anniversary season. Like, and I don't like look at it like the legacy of Kamen Rider. More like this is just a really good Kamen Rider show, and I think that's a strength.
Yeah, like, this is the first episode, like, I've enjoyed Revise so far, but this is the first episode where, like, from the theme song onward, I was just into it and fully hyped for this show. Like, I've gotten to the point where it's like, whenever I have a chance to listen to the theme song for this show, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's put it on. It's a great song, it's a great show. Which I wasn't that way initially. You know, we were all very hesitant going into this show for good reasons, but I think I'm now at a place where the show has fully won me over.
Yeah,
fuck Saburo, though.
Yeah, screw Saburo. But like, I think for me that was episode 6. Like, I don't know why. Just like around the beginning of the October episodes, I think that's when it just all started to click. Yeah. And then like Evil debuted, and I'm like, and then it just kept escalating, and you know.
And like, really speaking of Saburo, or more accurately, his role, Vice is actually really good in this episode, because like, you legitimately feel bad for him, because the whole episode he's like, yo, something's up with Daiji, Iki, do something, and Iki's just fucking ghosting him.
Yeah, well, like, that's honestly, like it's just, like kind of the boy who cried wolf too many times kind of shtick. And I think it's pretty good. Like, that's some good character, that's some good continuity.
So, like, it's a great episode, and, like, I'm really excited to see where things go from here on out, especially with that big moment at the end of the episode with Iki getting back to his family and then being like, please bring Daiji back to us. And you can tell by the look on his face, he's like, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but I gotta do it.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't, like, I should have expected this because writer pacing nowadays goes super fast, but I kind of thought we wouldn't get into family drama until the second arc. But, like, even so, this is still really good stuff, and I feel like we've had enough time with the family that, like, you know, now we could start, like, playing around with their dynamics.
Yeah.
Also, the Deadmans were great this episode, just being like fucking Team Rocket, trying to interfere everywhere.
Yeah, like disguises and then like grand entrance. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, Revice has really hit its stride, and here's hoping it stays on it for the rest of the show.
Yeah. Now originally we were going to talk about Zenkaiger because it didn't got subbed. Then the technical issues happened, so Zenkaiger did get subbed because there was time. So we're talking about Zenkaiger now. Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, episode 33. Great teacher's oatfish treatment. I don't know what the hell that translation was, but I guess it's a translation.
Mm-hmm. This episode was fun.
Yeah, very funny episode. I really like the like my favorite moment was with like Stacy like the quiz, and it's just like oh, you blow up, and then it's like I love how they try like every possible solution. They even consider using the 5-man gear, but like
yeah. I'm surprised they didn't bring up the they do have a scene where they summon Mega Red, but I was expecting them to also suggest maybe using the Mega Ranger gear.
Yeah, well, the Mega Ranger is more tech based than like
fair enough. But like this whole episode took me back to the Mega Ranger episode of Gokaiger where they basically did this same plot. I did really enjoy though. Like I think the best thing about this episode, because like this is a fairly solid Zenkaiger episode, but like it really pops off during that final fight scene. Like that's one of the best fight scenes in the show so far. Just really made great use of all the characters involved and felt like a proper climactic battle. Like I was expecting some major shit to go down, but no, it's just a regular fight of the week, which is cool.
Yeah. Also, like I appreciate like all the little visual gags. Zenkaiger's very good at visual gags.
Freaking when we first see Sei-chan and he's got his little hat and straw in his mouth, I did laugh at that.
That was adorable. Also, like when everyone went punk, that was great.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Like everyone with like messy hair, and then like especially the roll call, that was great.
Flint is great in this episode because just whenever they cut to her, she's carrying the physical props of Ricky and Kuttner, and it just looks hilarious because she looks like a girl who brought her 2 favorite plushes to school.
Yeah, and I love the comment they made, like, why are the Kuttner and Rucker, that was horribly mispronounced. Kuttner and Ricky, they made where it was like, why do we have blocky shoulders?
Yeah,
that was great. Not much to say. It seems like next episode's gonna be a bigger one.
Yeah, especially just from some of the visuals in that preview. Like they're doing the reveal, but they're doing it in a way I didn't expect them to. But I guess we'll say more on that next week. Overall, though, it's been a really solid week for new releases. Like not a lot going on, just the big 3, but all of them had banger episodes.
Yeah. What else?
Did you want to talk about Wizard a little bit? Because you said you finished that this week.
I finally finished Wizard. I have a first draft written up. I still need to polish it and add more to it for the analysis upcoming. That'll hopefully be mid-November. But yeah, I finished Wizard. It's really good. It did not need to be 53 episodes.
Yeah, Wizard's a little bloated.
Yeah, it is probably the most bloated season of Rider. I could be wrong because I still haven't seen any Showa stuff. Mm-hmm. But man, it really doesn't feel like it uses its time the best. Like, it really feels like, okay, we didn't need these 2-episode arc mandates, but that was the thing since Dino. So it's
there's a lot of, like, as much as I like Wizard, I'll freely admit, there's a lot of 2-episode arcs that just blatantly feel like filler.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even that there's great plots in them. It's just they're stretched out, and I'm just like, it makes it a bit hard to watch. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd say Wizard, like, it's a good show. It's just, don't binge it. It's like, take it at your own pace.
Yeah. Also, like, just to reiterate something I said in my video, you could have cut Shunpei out and very little would change.
Yeah, or just give him a bigger role. Like, here's an idea, just a weird idea, maybe, like, because the mages are introduced, maybe have a 4th mage and make that Shunpei? I don't know, it could be
Or get rid of, as much as like he barely gets screen time, but I do like the dad who becomes a mage.
Masahiro.
Yeah, you could have cut him out and just had Shunpei become a mage.
Yeah, although I'm a bit hesitant on that because I really like Masahiro.
All the mages are great. Like Mayu is probably the closest I've ever come to being like, ooh, that would be my Kamen Rider waifu, but she's a child.
Yeah, she's 16, 17.
Yeah, but
which, by the way, it's a great arc.
By the way, because I remember a couple episodes ago, we were arguing about whether it's okay to ship Snipe and Nico. I fucking found out apparently her canonical age is 18.
I see. And it still feels a bit weird because she just turned an adult, whatever.
Fair enough.
We'll have that.
I just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot again.
Okay. The two, I'm a bit mixed on the ending two-parter. I feel like it's great fan service, and I feel like it's a very creative way to incorporate all the writers. And I kind of like I'm a bit mixed on them giving the writers voice lines that aren't from the actors. Like, I feel like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. You still get to have these writers talk, but I still feel like flanderized. Like, like Forze's a bit too overexcited. Double just acts like one person instead of two. I
mean, it's the best Heisei Generations movie that's not a Heisei Generations movie.
I will argue that the Heisei Generations movies are good, but we'll have that discussion another day.
I didn't say they weren't good. I just said this is the best Heisei Generations movie that's not a Heisei Generations movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, there's other crossover episodes out there that could have been Heisei Generations episodes. This just happens to be one of them.
Yeah. I also like the Gaim introduction in the stuff. Like, it's kind of weird because
I saw that when it first came out, and it was fucking hype.
Yeah,
Came out, and it was fucking hype.
Yeah, like, especially because you get to see Kota's face, like, and it's like, that's good. It's good. Mm-hmm. Like, and it just shines, and like, even like during the final form, like his just base suit works so well for all the final forms. Yeah. Although this, unfortunately, I think this is the episodes that started the O's final form debate, and we're still suffering to this day.
Puto tira se sorus.
A power to terror, if you will. What else? Anything else I gotta say on Wizard? Oh, Beast is super good.
Beast is best boy.
Yeah. I actually like Beast Hyper, both its arc and the suit. I don't get why people dislike that suit. It's pretty good. Like, people.
It's just the colors are pretty garish, and there's a lot of people who don't go for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better color idea. Like, it's basically a better Meteor Storm, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Although Meteor Storm isn't that bad, although it's probably the suit that hurts my eyes the most, especially after the clean and like base form of Meteor. But we're not at Forza yet.
Can you agree with me that like the episodes where his mom comes back are like some of the best episodes of the show?
Oh yeah, that was great. You got the Magical Girl episode, and you got the Beast gets a lot of good out. Like, I like how he initially, like, his source comes from a different thing than all the other writers and like villains, but then they like find a way to incorporate his character in these very clever ways. And
yeah. I could be wrong, but I think he's still the only secondary to defeat the big bad.
Yeah. I mean, technically Haruto still gets the final kick in, but still, like, he gets a final confrontation with him, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Wizard's good shit.
Yeah,
Stop sleeping on Wizard.
Yeah, again,
that's the title of the episode now. Stop sleeping on Wizard.
Yeah, again, don't binge it. Take it at your own pace. Don't feel the need, because I feel like out of all the Heisei Phase 2 writers, is not the best for binging. Even the other episodic Heisei Phase 2 writers. Like,
I mean, it's one of those shows where you can watch like 10 episodes, take a break, watch something else, and then come back and watch another 10.
Yeah, you need like another show to watch. Like, you need a breather show.
Like, honestly, if I was gonna like just pick two shows, you could watch this and like alternate back and forth between it and like a Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because that's a very arcy show, and there are times where it drags as well, even though a lot of Clone Wars is Kino.
Yeah, that's my Star Wars right there. And then as for what I'm gonna do next, I was originally gonna do Forza. Was gonna do Forza up to double. I am going to actually go in order now. I'm gonna go to Kuga next for my next Rider watch through. Although,
sick.
Yeah, I teased it on Twitter. So
Kuga is like, I'll just say straight up, Kuga is tied with Amazon's for my favorite Rider thing of all time.
Really, Amazon's
season 1 specifically.
Okay. Like, because I never heard you talk about Amazon's at all.
Oh no, I love Amazon's season 1. Season 2, I have a lot of gripes, but I feel like there's still a lot of good ideas in there, and the movie is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very. I would love to see an Amazon's analysis if you decide to do like another full series analysis at one day.
I mean, like, I am shifting back to more media-focused videos, or at least that's the plan at the moment. So, like, it's not off the table, I'll say.
One of the shorter seasons, despite like a bit of the longer episode count, it would be easy to rewatch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Most Rider shows, I'd say you need like 2 to 3 weekends of straight binging. Amazon's you could do in a single weekend.
Yeah, probably help for the Amazon Prime thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the great thing is I can legally tell you where to watch Kuga on Tubi and Shop Factory TV.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you haven't watched Kuga yet, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, go watch Kuga along with Buster. Do a watch along. Join Buster.
I'll do like a I don't know.
I'm not sure. I watch Buster's gonna live tweet Kuga so y'all know when to watch the episodes.
Dang. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. I got other things to do. Should we plug our stuff and end the episode?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we have to say about this week. So, Buster, tell the good people who you are and where they can find your stuff if you want them to.
Yeah. Sup, I'm Buster Corp. I do video essays on the internet. There is no video essay this week because I uploaded like 5 videos in the span of like 3 weeks. That's not healthy, and I'm taking this week off, but there are more videos coming, I hope. Like, I'm writing them right now. I wrote the Wizard analysis, working on a couple cartoon and movie reviews. Kuga is definitely on the cards for maybe not November, but definitely December. Yeah. And that's a Buster Corp. If you want us to watch all stuff, I released a Gaim analysis, and like I have Gaim through Build and also Blade, Dragon Knight, and ZenkaiOh reviewed. So
sick raw swag goat. Hey, I am the Vacuuminator. I'm also a YouTuber. I've made videos about Kamen Rider in the past, or at least one video. Hey, go watch my Wizard video if you haven't. It's mired in storyline bullshit, but I'm still proud of the analysis portions. I made many Power Rangers videos, probably going to make more Power Rangers videos in the future, and I made a few Sentai videos here and there, so go check out that stuff if you haven't already at youtube.com/thevacuuminator, which is spelled THEVACUUMINATOR, and if you want to see me tweeting about anything and everything that pops into my head, go follow me on Twitter at thevacuuminator. But that is going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu, so we'll see you next time when we talk about whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu!